it's the Fish Guy. I'm excited today because I'm with John from Rhode Island Monthly, who has had a passion for fish for some time now, I think.
Yeah, actually, when I first bought the magazine some 10 years ago, we were setting up our office, and one of the things I really wanted to have was a fish tank. And I think that's when I first met you. I was rummaging through some place to try to figure out how to put it all together, and you said, I can help you with that.
That's awesome. So, if I recall, what kind of aquarium did you have back then?
It was freshwater, and it was about 40 gallons. Um, and I would spend hours upon hours cleaning it every other weekend.
That's interesting. So, you had a new business
Yeah.
that was new to being your business.
Right, right. We had just moved into these offices.
And of course, that comes with a tremendous work schedule.
Right.
So you find yourself here on the weekends cleaning the aquarium, and if I remember, sometimes for hours just to get it on track.
Yeah.
And at some point, you brought us in to help you actually maintain the aquarium. Why was that important, and how did you decide to pull the trigger on having a company like Something Fishy come in?
Well, first off, I enjoy the aesthetics of the aquarium, but back then, and I've learned so much more now, I didn't have any idea how the components worked. I think I had a different kind of sand base. I didn't have live coral. And I remember when you came in, we talked about it. You said, well, you don't want to do that. You want to get rid of that. You might want to consider this. And then you started servicing the 40-gallon tank before we got to the
larger one,
the ocean behind us.
Tell me about how we transitioned, or your thoughts on transitioning from that freshwater tank in your office to something this size, this bright, this colorful.
When I opened this office, I wanted it to be a really cool place. And we went out and found all kinds of eclectic colors and artwork and things. And we hang kites from the ceiling, and it's a creative place. And also we make a statement to people who come and visit us. And this is like having artwork that changes hourly. I mean, it's like people will walk in and you immediately make a statement about, this is a cool place. What's interesting is when people will come in, whether they be advertisers or whether they be, even the college students who are coming in for internships, you watch them sit on the couch and they're like mesmerized, they're just, and then it's almost as if they get bolder and they leave the couch. And by the time, if they're waiting here for a few minutes, then their nose is in the tank window, looking at different things. And it's particularly gratifying when we have people come in with little kids, because they come in and immediately it's mommy, it's Nemo or whatever. It's they're fascinated by the tank, and even some of our employees bring their children in. As one woman said to me, it's why go to SeaWorld? I have it right here.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
So, John, one of our mottos is that we believe aquariums move people in amazing ways. And you've already touched upon several things that really have exemplified that. Is there anything else that you could touch on that might be relevant to the motivation your team gets from this? Or we always say that people take 5-minute vacations from their desk, and it empowers them to be more productive when they get back. Is this a vacation spot for them?
It is. Sometimes you see some more than others. They get they're very interested. Christine, who's our office manager, who sits up front here, is sort of the official curator, because people will ask or call or ask her questions about the what's in the tank. And when your technician comes in, Zach, who's our technician, we had lengthy conversations with him even after the service is done, just about what's in the tank, how they're interacting, what other species can, be put in there. People are observing all the time, and people will come up all the time and just, look at it and stare at the tank, and they're having a conversation with Chris, but then they come on over here.
In everything that we do, John, in our designs, our implementation with partners like you that have an aquarium, is making sure that aquarium ownership is as simple as possible. How would you describe the effort that you have to put into your aquarium? What's involved for you to own an aquarium when you're partnered with Something Fishy?
We follow the instructions provided in terms of feeding and anything like that, but beyond that, we just make notes and observe. It's really very, very easy, painless, without a lot of effort. It's, as I say, the biggest responsibility is the feeding instructions.
Is that a responsibility or is that a daily excitement?
It is a combination of both. Everybody, there's probably about 4 people in the office who are allowed to feed the tank, because they know how to do it. And no, it is an excitement.
So the tank that's behind us here certainly looks amazing. It's clean, it's
Mhm.
presentable, but does it really always look that way?
Yeah, it does
That's
all the
awesome.
time. It actually gets better with each visit, and you see things. I think the seeing the growth and the coral and all of the other plant type stuff in here is as fascinating as watching the fish.
It's like wine, right?
Right,
It's better
right.
with age.
Yeah,
So
it's spectacular. Yeah, yeah.
that's exciting. Well, John, one thing that I'd like to recognize you for is the great work that you do with Rhode Island Monthly.
Thank you.
You have a lot of subscribers that are also clients of ours.
Great.
And I think it's interesting to see the circles of life come together
Mhm.
as we've grown our company over the last several years and you've grown yours. And we have a lot of mutual clients out there. For any of your subscribers that might not have an aquarium in their home or in their business, what recommendation would you have for them?
I would say, first off, take a look, and it doesn't have to be this, because I know I've seen the variety of work that you do, and maybe they're starting as I did with a 40-gallon unit, or a unit that's smaller, but some people may look at this and they say, "Gee, I live in a condominium. This is like would take up half of my floor space." Well, it doesn't have to be a 150-gallon tank, and you can have as much of the uh, activity that we have going on behind us and the beauty that we have going on behind us in something that's a lot smaller. I saw that when we first started working together, which is what led me to this.
That's great. Very, very glad that we were able to hang out today. Also, I want to just shout out that, I know you recognize a lot of people for being best in Rhode Island.
Hmm.
And I'd like to say that you're working with your team and your publication that you guys are.
Well, thanks.
So
Thanks.
thanks for all that you do.
It's been a good relationship. It has been a partnership. That's just we know all of the technicians by name. Even people who are not dealing with it will come out and start talking. So yeah, it's a really cool relationship.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joe.
Okay, thank you.